I want to thank all my teammates, the organization, the lovables, everyone who supported us in the city of Chicago. It's been a great run. Thank you.
The Chicago Bulls cemented themselves in basketball folklore as one of the most dominant teams in the league. They literally conquered anything and everything on their way as they secured championship after championship. The New York Times Magazine even declared them the best team ever, anywhere. They were literally unstoppable. In fact, they were the Unstoppables. But while many people continued celebrating the Bulls' success that season, the whereabouts of the players in the iconic team has also become a topic of discussion. So, how do you go on after living as a legend in your own time? You see, after winning 3 championships in a row for the second time, Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls just had to accept that the ride was over. It was time for them to go their separate ways. Coach Phil Jackson, nicknamed the Zen Master, called it the last dance at the beginning, knowing that even if they won all 82 games, he still wouldn't carry on. So he asked players to write down what the team meant to them, and then they threw those notes into a coffee can. After the 1997-98 season ended, they burned the notes as a kind of ritual. Of course, Michael Jordan was the key focus in the recent ESPN Netflix series The Last Dance, which is quite alright. But what about the other guys? I mean, people began asking questions as to what the rest of his gang had been up to. Well, it'll interest you to know that while one paid $3,000 to name a newly discovered species of shrimp, and others turned to collegiate level coaching, this guy right here was making a lot of babies with a lot of women. Yeah, I'm talking about Jason Caffey. Now, Caffey might not be the most memorable player from the Bulls' record-breaking season, because he didn't get much playing time as a rookie. But at least he got 2 rings out of the Bulls before moving on. After that, Caffey kept playing for a bit before retiring in 2003. But what actually stands out is the stats he's accumulated since his playing days. Cause Caffey has 10 kids with 8 different women. Yeah, you heard that right. And what's worse is that one of the women claimed he didn't pay child support, opting to file for bankruptcy. He even went on the Dr. Phil show to explain, but a judge later ordered him to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. But while this guy was bursting seeds around, someone else was making his dream come true. Bill Wennington. Wennington has always been a fan favorite since his days as a backup for Luke Longley during the historic 1996 season. It's a bit of a shame that Bill didn't go into the food business like some of his teammates. Cause when he played for the Bulls, McDonald's named a burger after him called the Beef Wennington. And trust me, fans were loving it. But Wennington knew a good thing when he saw it. So he stuck with the Bulls and became a radio commentator for the team, a job he still does. So, if you put a job on radio, a novelty burger, and a spot on the Canadian Basketball Hall of Fame, you've got a pretty awesome resume. Way to go, Beef Wennington. Bill Wennington, for making your dreams come true. But this next guy made an entire country's dream come true. Luke Longley. You see, Luke Longley wasn't just a trailblazer, he was a history maker. Cause dude was literally the first Australian in the NBA, and that's truly remarkable. Cause Longley grew up watching Australian rules football instead of basketball. Call him the weird one amongst the Bull squad, and you absolutely wouldn't be wrong. Cause while others like Rodman, Wennington, and Pippen have been giving interviews, reports in Australia reveal that he even changed his mobile phone number to ward off any interview requests. Like, he ain't got no interest in it. As many others from the squad have done, Luke's experience in basketball saw him become sought after. And now he's the assistant for the Australian national team, the Boomers. But the coolest thing he did after playing was winning an eBay auction in 2009. He paid a whopping $2,900 to name a new shrimp species after his daughter Claire Hannah. Now it's known in marine biology as Lebius clarehana. Damn, man, that's awesome. But you bet no one takes life as seriously as the guy who went on to become the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, Steve Kerr.
Oh, juice. Yeah, I bet that was Kerr for three. Ring it up. Nice job. They went underneath the screen on top, and Steve Kerr. Kerr gets it. Oh, great play by Burrell. Burrell gets it back to Kerr. Yeah.
Steve Kerr was a key player and sharpshooter for the Bulls, with a level head who could make big shots when they needed it for the game or the championship. After playing for the Bulls, Steve Kerr went on to win 2 more championships with the San Antonio Spurs before retiring. So, what has this tough guy been up to since his playing days? Well, if you really know what a basketball is, you might know that my man Steve is one of the most successful coaches in the history of the NBA.
The faster we can play, the better, as long as we're taking care of it.
That is, if you look at the winning percentage. He's the record holder by a significant margin. He's also the fastest coach to reach 250 wins, has won 4 championships, and has changed the game by turning small ball and three-pointers into the de facto style of the sport. Not a bad retirement at all. But while Pippen was the glue and Jordan was the greatest, it took one man to turn the Bulls into something exceptional.
Robinson looks inside. He's sealed by Pippen. Tough pass. And Rodman.
Dennis Rodman. Yeah, I'm talking about the Rodman with the colored hair, the referee headbutts, and unique fashion choices like wedding dresses, who became hugely popular in the mid-90s, that people actually forgot he was also an extraordinary basketball player. But Dennis seems to have struggled after his retirement, because back in 2003, New York Times Magazine profile explained that he had no endorsements, no public appearances, and few prospects. Struggling with alcohol and drug abuse made it hard for him to figure out his next steps. I guess it shouldn't come as a surprise that he had to travel all the way to North Korea to find some purpose.
Kim Jong-un, like the relationship there.
Yeah.
First of all, how were you friends?
It wasn't dope at the beginning.
How did it happen?
And he loved Chicago Bulls. He contacted Michael first. And Michael Jordan just like, no, I'm not doing that. So the next guy he asked was me. He said, okay, Dennis, you want to go? You want to go to North Korea? I immediately say yes. And I'm thinking it's like an autograph show. And next thing you know, the Harlem Globetrotters was doing an exhibition over there in North Korea. So they asked me to be on the team.
Needless to say, Rodman and Kim Jong-un became buddies, and he took it upon himself to restore peace to the region. Despite facing criticism from society, he kept at it through 2 administrations. Who knows, maybe Rodman will have the last laugh after all.
To let people know that, you know what, not every country on the planet is that bad.
But this next guy wasn't concerned about laughs, because many saw him as the odd man out.
I know that it's very difficult to make Chicago Bulls better because already 3 times on the road the world champion. Everything the people said about me like a good player was in Europe.
Tony Kukoc. See, when Tony joined the Bulls in 1993, he barely spoke English. His teammates didn't even take him too seriously until he won them over with his pass-first, point-forward playing style. Earning him the nickname The Waiter. But instead of retiring back to his homeland of Croatia, Tony settled in the suburbs of Chicago, playing golf, doing some daddy duty, and then playing some more golf. Kukoc really loves golf. Maybe a little too much. Almost every day, he's tweaking his golf shot, playing a full game, and then tweaking some more. The good part is that he actually found a way to succeed, because in 2011, the Waiter won Croatia's National Amateur Championship. Now he's in Chicago full-time with his family and works in an advisory role for Bulls president Michael Reinsdorf, who is the son of owner Jerry. But sometimes NBA legends need to take things easy, because this guy blew up a truckload of money and filed for bankruptcy before turning to ESPN.
I was growing. That's was the fun part of it because...
Yeah, I'm talking about the legendary Scottie Pippen. You see, this guy is the most famous second banana in sports history. And I like to think that that's still selling him short. Think about it. Pippen excelled at doing a little bit of everything. From making important shots to pulling down the key rebound to making the crucial dish. Sure, my man Pippen is still a well-liked figure in Chicago and across the NBA. But that popularity didn't do much when it really counted. It's sadly common for pro athletes to face money problems after retiring. And Pippen fell into that trap too. Just that in his case, he trusted the wrong people. Like a financial advisor who cheated him out of $20 million. Damn, that's a whole lot of money. All I needed was $1 million to change my life, and this guy blew up 20? That's insane. As if that wasn't enough, Pippen made lavish purchases that turned into money pits, like a $4.3 million Gulfstream jet, which ended up costing him an extra $1 million he couldn't pay all because he didn't check it properly. He's said to have used up a fortune of $120 million and reportedly filed for bankruptcy. But Pippen disputed it and sued every media outlet that reported he went bankrupt for at least $1 million. He went Shakespearean and was like, "I beseech thou to recant thy heinous statements." Okay, I made that up, but come on, dude was furious. Take it easy, buddy, don't sue us. Pippen worked as the Chicago Bulls public relations ambassador in 2010, but things got messy and he left the job in April 2020. However, he still continues to make appearances for The Jump as an analyst. But maybe Pippen forgot to take a cue from the legendary MJ, cause there's no denying that Michael Jordan is as good off the court as he is on the court. Michael Jordan, far and away the best player on the Bulls during both their winning streaks. It's no coincidence that Jordan made the winning shot in Game 6 against Utah to secure the 1998 title. You see, MJ is the greatest player ever to grace the NBA court. He won all 6 finals he played in.
Sorry, Showtime. The 92 Bulls, back-to-back. 93 Bulls, first three-peat. 97 Bulls, even with the flu. 98 Bulls, no push-off. And my favorite, the 96 Chicago Bulls. 72 wins, tough to beat that.
Got 5 MVPs and scored the most points per game in the league ever. Can you beat that? Dude hit countless game-winning shots, beat the freaking Monstars, and even took Nike to atmospheric heights. For most fans, 1996 was the feather in his championship cap. But we can tell you for sure that retirement barely slowed him down. Cause in 2006, Jordan bought a piece of the Charlotte Bobcats, now known as the Hornets, and as a part of the deal, he took charge of the basketball side of things as the managing member of basketball operations. But in February 2010, Jordan had bigger dreams and decided to increase his stake in the team. And a month later, he owned a majority stake. Unfortunately, the Hornets weren't as successful during his tenure as when he played for the Bulls. Even Barkley called him out in 2012, saying he hadn't done a good job. So, in 2019, Jordan sold a part of the team, but still kept the majority and became the chairman. However, MJ continues to live life, as he became only the second athlete to break the $1 billion barrier. Heck, some years he still rakes in $100 million from Nike, which is more than LeBron James banks. But what do you make of the iconic Chicago Bulls and their lives after the last dance?